Well, Ian, goalless draw this afternoon. What's your take on that game?
Yeah, I'm having that performance. I think that performance is better than last week. Sounds weird, but what we spoke about in the week, we spoke about being alive, not giving silly goals away. Yeah, they had one chance they created in the end. They could have scored. He volleyed it over, missed it, hooked it over the bar. I thought we were absolutely excellent in every individual duel, everything we did. They came here to man mark us. They couldn't because we'd done something different. Our fullbacks were rolling in, and their wing backs didn't know where they were going, and unfortunately, the chances we did get, we didn't take. There was more than enough of them. I'm asking them to just hit the target. Unfortunately, Glatz deserved more than one goal today. I thought he was excellent. He didn't get any. That one that just rolled past, brilliant move. Gav had another couple of efforts and he didn't hit the target. So, and I think we scored a perfectly legitimate goal that was disallowed. But that's the way it goes. We kept on, kept going. On a bobbly pitch, we dealt with the ball really well. We dealt with an opponent who will never ever stop, never ever give in, never ever stop running. And I was really proud of our performance. Unfortunately, we didn't get 3 points. We only got. You were talking
pre-match about Accrington being a credible opponent despite their league position. Did you see that this afternoon in the fact that your boys had to work harder for it?
Mate, at the end of the day, they're punching well above their weight in their budget. They beat us on the penalty shootout. We've drawn with them twice now. And that was a game I was looking forward to, and I was delighted with our performance. I think we kept the ball, we moved it, we nullified their press with on a bobbly pitch with us getting it, moving it. And unfortunately, the only thing we didn't do is score. They did a job on Harry, tried to. He still had a few chances. And as I say, I think we scored a perfectly legitimate goal that the referee somehow decided to not give. That would have been 1-0. That would have been a fantastic result, and I think we would have deserved it. But at the end of the day, points are shared. That's the way it goes. But I'm having a performance. I really am. I enjoyed that much more than last week. Much more than last week. So.
You've spoken about it already. Let's talk about the disallowed goal. It seemed like there was some confusion at half-time whether it was for an offside or a foul, but it seems that he's disallowed it for the foul in the build-up.
Well, it was neither of. It was neither a foul or offside, but we've had the benefit of hindsight. We've looked back at it, and people get things wrong. It'd be nice if they come back and said, actually, no, but it still hasn't changed it, has it? But again, it's all about if you hit the target with your chance instead of miss the target, then you'll get another chance of it. He'll either go in, or he'll save it, and then you'll be following up. So you can get 2 chances out of 1. If you miss the target, that ain't good enough. So there'll be a bit of shooting practice and what have you. But what we asked them to do and how we practiced it this week and how they've gone out and delivered it, I'm delighted. I thought we looked much better than last week. The silly goals we let in last week. I wasn't happy with, but this week I'm more than happy with that performance, as I've told them. Unless you win every single game at this moment in time, people are going to be disappointed at the end of it. And the lads trudged in because they felt that we needed to win today. And I've told them just now, if you continue to perform like that, I think you will win regularly in this level. With that level of performance, with that level of team spirit, that level of fight in your tackle, that level of never giving up and doing your job, whatever that job is. If you're a forward, you have to track back, you have to do your job. I thought everybody did their job really well, apart from score us a goal.
In your pre-match press conference, you talked about how important Namdi Offerball has been in the previous weeks. You brought him back in as one of 4 changes this afternoon. Do you feel he added that little bit of solidarity in front of your back 4 this afternoon?
He added all sorts of things, and it's about resting him at the right time, moving him in, moving him out, and I think I got that wrong. So there you go. We looked a much better team with him in it, as we do with Ollie. So it's the balance. Life's about balance, and I thought he was excellent today.
As I mentioned, one of 4 changes you made this afternoon, with Pal Glatzel having his first start in a while, and changes at both fullbacks, obviously with Joel McGregor injured, Tamisi coming back in, but Jake came back at left back as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't have wingers. They didn't have people who were going to run with it, you know, and Miguel's brilliant at man-to-man stopping someone. So what I wanted was to try and dominate the ball a little bit more against a team that we weren't good enough to play round last time. So that's what we looked at, that's what we did, that's why the changes were made, and we didn't win. So there we go. That's it. I can't say any more. It ain't about leaving someone out, it's about what you're putting out there, and I believe the performance was good enough for people to see that we deserved to win that. Unfortunately we didn't, and sometimes in life you don't get what you want even if you deserve it, do you? So you got to keep going.
I know you've mentioned already that you're happy with this afternoon's performance. One of those delights must be the fact that you've kept a clean sheet as well, even with the changes at fullbacks, but Ollie and Will seemingly creating a really good partnership there.
We got some good players who are playing very well, are in a confident vein of form. I think in the form table, I think we're 4th. Unfortunately, we're not 4th in the real table. So bodes well for the future, though. That's all I can say.
And just lastly, I want to talk about returns. Obviously, you had George Cox got a few more minutes this afternoon as his return from injury, but also great to see Billy Kirkman back on the bench as well after his injury as well.
The life of a footballer ain't easy, particularly when you're injured. Not just physically, mentally you can become damaged if you're out of it. You see the lads playing and they're doing well and you're lost, you're forgotten. But again, I'm very proud of the club. We don't do that here. And if they keep working hard, they'll get a chance, and when they get that chance, they got to take it. And it was, we were down to bare bones, so I had no problem in putting any of them back on that bench. And I'm sure they've rewarded me with how well they played, so I'll have a tough decision to make next week, but I'm sure I can handle it.